CCIW is proud to participate in the NCAA Office of Inclusion's Diversity and Social Media Campaign, held October 27th to the 29th. As part of this campaign, the CCIW will conduct a series of interviews where we talk to student athletes, coaches, and administrators throughout the conference and get a sense of how the CCIW membership is fostering an inclusive environment. Today, we welcome in Carthage junior cross-country student athlete, Jeremy Ermilio. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Ermilio.
Ermilio, sorry about that. Jeremy, thank you for joining us today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So the Carthage men's cross-country team recently took part in a virtual meet where student athletes donned custom running gear with statements in support of the Black Lives Matter and social justice movement. Obviously, this is something that the NBA had done. Did you get the idea from them, or did it develop in another way for you?
Yeah, it was mainly from them, and I thought we could do something similar. So how this idea came about, it all started when Coach Josh Henry asked me to be a part of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, also known as SAC. And I realized that I was seen as a leader on the team, which is something I really wanted to strive for as a upperclassman. So, and this was around, and my coach had asked me around the time after the George Floyd incident, and after seeing what had happened, I was a little shocked and in disbelief because no human life should be taken away from under any circumstance. And I wanted to make change in some way. So I saw how the NBA had their players write. They had the option to put statements on the back of their jerseys, and they had pre-approved messages. So in order to make sure that everyone felt comfortable with what we can have on our jerseys, we looked at what the NBA had approved, and we made sure to follow everyone's core values and made sure we weren't disrespecting anyone. And we came up with a lot of good ones. And then, so I presented the idea to Coach Josh Henry and Roger Moreno, who is the Director of Equality and Inclusion at Carthage. And they're both really supportive of my idea. And so the purpose of this was to raise awareness that Black Lives Matter, and that a small school like Carthage, a small D3 school like Carthage can support this, and they want to make change along in the process. And for me, this isn't a political issue. This is more an issue about racism and how it is alive and well, and it's time to put an end to it. So, and we all come from different backgrounds, and I understand that everyone has their own opinion, and that's okay. But when it comes to racism, I hope we can all agree that it is bad, and we can put a stop to it. But it's thanks to guys like my coach, my teammates, alumni, and Roger Moreno who made this as successful as it was.
So, what were some of the end results of this idea that you had? Was it to increase awareness to social justice issues, or were there others?
Yeah, so we actually did a donation. We ended up raising about $1,400, and we when Coach and I were sitting down to discuss where to donate to, we thought a cool idea would be to donate to our chapter, My Brother's Keeper, which is ran by Roger Moreno. And the group My Brother's Keeper is their group that is available to Carthage Men of Color that strives to build excellence in academics, career preparation, civil engagement and contribution to the community, and just personal development. And we have guys on the track team who are currently involved in that chapter, and they're also leaders on the track team. And those guys are phenomenal, and Roger does an amazing job with those guys and making them better men and preparing for life. And I believe some of the awareness that we created was to make sure that we want to make change. We want everyone know that Black Lives Matter. And we received a lot of positive feedback from this event, and it's awesome to see the reaction we got. But I really just hope that students and faculty understand the reason why we did this, and I hope that we can, in the future, hold each other accountable from now on.
So you mentioned earlier in the interview that you were part of the Carthage Student Athlete Advisory Council, and that's kind of where you discovered your leadership abilities. What are other ways that you've used your leadership to help implement positive?
So I think one way I have used my leadership is to become a new leader for the freshmen. Coach did a spectacular job, recruiting over 20 men for the cross country and track team. And I got to talk to most of them when they came to the overnight visits. And the main thing I wanted those guys to know, when considering Carthage, was to know that we are all about winning and competition, but we're also gonna have fun in the process. And a couple days after the visit, I believe we got like, I think half of the guys to commit after that visit, and then the rest followed. And I like to think that I was a partial part in their decision to commit to us. And I like to think of myself as their big brother, but also a leader to them, because I'll be a mentor to them in any way possible, and on how to become a better runner, how to prepare even for the classroom, anything that they need me to be them to be, I'll be there for a leader. So I feel like as a leader, I can really get to them. I'm one of those guys on the team who, when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious, to take care of business, and they will listen. Like, I've seen that happen, and I feel like that. I know that I know I'm not the best guy on the team right now, and that it is what it is, right? But I've embraced the role of being a mentor, and I know the type of leader I am, and I'm not going to change that, because I've got to be who I am as a leader.
Do you feel like you have always had a passion maybe for uplifting the voices of the underrepresented, and is that where this idea came from to implement within the cross country program?
Yeah, I have always wanted to do something for the underrepresented. Yes, it is clear that racism is alive and well, and there is a clear amount of underrepresentation for minorities, and even women. And speaking as a minority, there's a lot of underrepresentation in the workforce, sports team, and pretty much everywhere you go, you can see there is some, even in like government and like everywhere you go, you can see there's some representation. And I think it's important to fix those issues and address them, because we have a platform, and now that I have the ability to use, I have ability to access to leadership roles, programs, and now that I can use my voice, while our platform may be small, we are a small D3 school. I understand that, but the fact that I can use it and voice the popular opinion, I feel like it will do some change, and I hope that we can implement that. Because as a leader, I've got to step up and help in any way I can, because I understand and I know that change won't happen overnight, but it's a starting point to me that matters. And the fact that I'm starting to help not only the school but everyone else make aware that racism is alive during this Black Lives Matter race that we dedicated to, and it makes me feel proud that we did receive a positive feedback, and it's becoming a wide known story that we did this, and I'm super proud of everyone in the process.
Great. Well, Jeremy, I want to thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you joining us and talking about your experiences and the things that you did for the Carthage men's cross country program, and the awareness you brought. I'd say just keep doing what you're doing, and I think the future is in good shape. So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.